I mean, it's pretty cool. Is it shocking? I don't know that it's shocking, but it's pretty cool. You had to expect something like this with Xbox when it purchased Bethesda. And that is, it looks like Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remake is real. First gameplay improvement details revealed. This is over at MP First, who broke this story. They have been able to confirm that this is indeed real, and this is really exciting. Now, this is not coming to the developer direct. That's according to MP First here. Again, mpfirst.com, go check out the story. But this is exciting. So I'd like to talk about this, what this means for Xbox, what this means for Game Pass, what this means for Elder Scrolls. We did a video yesterday where we talked about how I actually think these remakes are a good thing. There was a while that I was like, there was a time rather in which I thought we just need new IPs, all these remakes. But now that we are getting and witnessing games that I've played and loved and adored and have fond memories of, introducing those to my friends who did not experience those same games and seeing that they don't have that same love for the game because it's just outdated. That's it. It was for its time and now it's outdated. And seeing remakes like Final Fantasy VII revive an entire game, bring it to a new generation of players. I want to see that with all my classic games. And we have the technology to do it. We have the technology to do it well. That now that Bethesda is a part of Xbox, we have the resources. Xbox has the resources. Bethesda has the resources to do it correctly. And we're going to do it with Oblivion. Oblivion was absolutely huge on the Xbox. Indeed, Oblivion, for me, it went like this. I worked at Game Crazy at the time. So I had access to all of the games on Xbox. And it was like this. Halo was the game on Xbox. Then one of the key experiences for a new RPG and leveling up your character and leveling them up, getting them. I remember putting my character under a waterfall while I was working with a rubber band on the controller so I could keep leveling up their resources. The Oblivion RPG on Xbox was next level. It was a thing that just solidified the Xbox for me personally. And so it's great to see it being redone here. Let's go over this news story today. Let's go over the details here from mpfirst.com. I would like to know, first, right off the bat, are you guys excited for this? Do you agree with me that I think it takes a full-blown remake, not just something patched together or even just cinematics redone? I want to see full-blown remakes of these old classic once-in-a-lifetime games in the same vein that a Final Fantasy VII has been done, in the same vein that rumor is that Gears is being done. I want to see it from the ground up, rebuilt and brought to modern audiences. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it if you want to make money off your new series. The best way to introduce players to your new series is to bring them back to where it all started, to where it all began, and to update the game mechanics. Before we jump into this today, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel. My name is X1 the Gamer. We cover videos like this all the time right here. We do have a podcast. If you prefer listening in podcast form, even if you don't, go subscribe to us. Leave us a 5-star review. X1 Daily. It's X1 Daily. Also, come join our Discord. A link is in the description below. So we have a great group of people there just discussing things all day long, gaming, sports, what have you. Let's jump into this. Again, mpfirst.com. Report the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remake is real. First gameplay improvement details have been revealed. Back in September 2023, a Bethesda schedule release was leaked, mentioning Dishonored 3, a new Doom game, and even a remake/remaster of the Elder Scrolls 6. Elder Scrolls 4. Sorry, I get those Roman numerals. I suck with. Anybody else suck with? You suck with. Anybody else suck with Roman numerals? I suck with them. That's Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. While Bethesda has not yet officially announced the Oblivion remake, reliable leaker Nate the Hate mentioned it again this month in his latest podcast, stating that it's set to be released in June of this year. Today, we can confirm the project is indeed real. A mistake made by a former Virtuos employee has provided us with not just confirmation of its existence, but also insights into gameplay improvements set to be implemented in the original game. And I love that, because the thing is, these old games, you do need gameplay improvements. They might have been revolutionary at the time, but we've built upon those mechanics and we've evolved to where we're at now in 2025. So going back and reworking those mechanics is necessary to bring them back. And here's the thing. Here's an image on this article of Oblivion. Fond memories, man. Even that just brings it back. It looks very World of Warcraft-ish, actually, doesn't it? It has like a World of Warcraft vibe there. A return to Cyrodiil in Unreal Engine 5. The information comes from the website of a former Virtuos employee whose name we won't disclose for privacy reasons and who worked on the game from 2023 to 2024. Before this, the individual worked on games such as Epic Mickey Rebrushed, Call of Duty Warzone, and more. A description of the project provided on the site confirms that the title is being developed using Unreal Engine 5 and will be, quote, fully remade. Oh, yes, please. Hinting at significant changes in this reimagining compared to the original game. Brief descriptions of 6 gameplay systems that will be reworked are also provided. Stamina, sneak, blocking, archery. Archery is important. I used archery all the time in Oblivion. All the time. Archery and sneak. I actually used it way more in Oblivion than I did in Skyrim. In Skyrim, I went in Fusro dying everybody. I didn't worry about sneak. I did level up my sneak with the monks up at the mountain. There was a glitch that enabled you to do that. But sneaking and archery in Oblivion was my bread and butter. So stamina, sneak, blocking, archery, hit reaction, and the entire HUD will be reworked. For the blocking system, ideas to improve it were taken from Souls-like and Act games. We're not sure which games this refers to, but our best guess is Assassin's Creed Ezio Trilogy. That makes sense. Okay, that makes sense, as the original system was considered too boring and frustrating. The sneak icons are now highlighted in the improved sneak system, and the damage calculation methods were reworked. The stamina system was modified to be less frustrating for the player, making the knockdown that occurs when stamina is depleted more difficult to activate through changes in the calculation methods. The HUD was changed to make it easier to understand and more aesthetically appealing to young players. I mean, think about, we take these things for granted, but think about how HUDs have improved. In some cases, they become more cluttered. But I think overall, we stand on the shoulders of games that have gone before us in the respect that Halo, let's say Halo 1 introduces a system. Then Halo 2 expounds on that system. Halo 3 takes it further. Halo 4, Halo 5, and other games are now taking ideas from those and iterating on them until here we are in 2025, and we've got iterations upon iterations, most of them making our gaming experience vastly better. Sometimes not necessarily, but I'd say for the most part, that is the case. And so this is really exciting. Hit reactions were also added to improve the response to damage inflicted on the player and NPCs. Finally, archery was improved to make it more playable and modern in both first and third person viewpoints. These pieces of information dispel any doubt that this is merely a port to another graphic engine like Grove Street Games did with the definitive edition of the old Grand Theft Auto trilogy. Instead, it will be a full-fledged remake that reworks everything seen in the original title. Much better. The original Grand Theft Auto remake did not do that well, I think, commercially speaking, and it's because it just doesn't hold up, particularly in Grand Theft Auto, where you're literally taking the same iterations over and over and over again, and where we're at today, it feels... I mean, those systems have gone next level. And so going back to old systems, it just doesn't, I don't think it makes them as much sense. If you reworked them in the same engine as Grand Theft Auto 6, or let's take 5, as Grand Theft Auto 5, game changer. Everybody's playing that. Everybody's playing it, no question. These doubts make sense. Wait, hold on 1 second. I think I skipped. Instead, it will be a full-fledged remake that reworks everything seen in the original title. These doubts make sense if we recall an old list of Microsoft, blah, blah, blah. With the Xbox Developer Direct event set to take place on January 23rd, the Microsoft teased in the announcement image that it will feature the participation of an unannounced brand new game. Some might be wondering if this remake is the game being alluded to. Unfortunately, that won't be the case, as some insiders claim it won't be shown at the event. This was collaborated with our own sources, who also said the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remake won't be at the upcoming Xbox Direct airing January 23rd. However, if we follow Nate the Hate's report stating that the game is planned for release in June this year, we shouldn't have to wait long for an official announcement. I imagine we get it in March, April-ish, around there, right before the big June showcase. You could get it at the June showcase and then it drop end of month. That could be interesting because it's usually that like first weekend of June that the showcase happens, lining up with the old E3 event. This is absolutely huge, I think. I love this. I hope more big world-class titles. You don't want to see this done with every game. Why? Why do it to a game that did not experience commercial success or wasn't that good? I do think you want to do it to games where there are sequels in which you want to introduce a new generation of players to what makes this game great and see the origins, see the flashback to the origins there. I've changed on this too over time. I would say 2 or 3 years ago, I was bemoaning the fact that all we were getting was remasters. Having said that, there's a difference between like what Grand Theft Auto Trilogy did, even what Master Chief Collection did. What was nice about Master Chief Collection is it brought everything under one house, and I loved that. With Halo 2, it had the blur cinematics there. It updated it a little bit, but a full remake in a new engine, Unreal Engine 5, if you did that to all the Halos, game over. Watch out. Like, you're introducing all new stories in an updated mode to it's essentially a new game. Here's the question. Should those games be up for Game of the Year? It's a good question because it's not a new game, but it also is kind of a new game. Let me know in the comments. What do you think about that? Anyways, I'm very much looking forward to this. I did write down some questions here just to discuss here. Question number 1, how important is Game Pass in making classic remakes like Oblivion more accessible? Here's the thing. Because it's on Game Pass, because Xbox owned Bethesda, I think not only does it make it accessible, I think it makes it more doable. I think it makes it more necessary, actually, because when Elder Scrolls 6 is announced, imagine we're going to get some big details this year. Leading up to it, you get Oblivion. So you get some hype around Oblivion. You get people back in to Elder Scroll. Skyrim is still absolutely crushing it. Then you drop the epic Elder Scrolls 6 news. And watch out. I mean, you've got a blockbuster hit on your hands. You get people over to Game Pass. Hey, come experience this over on Game Pass. I think it's incredibly important. I think they go hand in hand. I think this still exists without Game Pass. It was probably planned before Game Pass. I think this works seamlessly with Game Pass, and I think Xbox has the pockets to make this work. Would an exclusive Oblivion remake boost Xbox stand in the console wars? I think the thing is the console wars are over. So when we refer to console wars, we're referring to service wars. And some of you might not like that I'm saying the console wars are over. They are. For all intensive purposes, when we say console wars, here's the thing, that's kind of a loaded term. When some people say console wars, they mean the ecosystem. So are you on the Sony ecosystem or the Xbox ecosystem or the Nintendo ecosystem or the Steam ecosystem? What ecosystem are you on? But a lot of people mean the plastic box that you play your games on. So Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation, or a PC. Xbox is done with the console wars. And as a result, we are done with the console wars. It's kind of foolish to refer to it in those terms, but I do think it boosts it boosts its ecosystem. It boosts the Game Pass. It boosts Xbox overall. Absolutely it does. It just gives you one more item. Remember, the key to a subscription service is not even the 1 or 2 massive titles that come every single year. It's everything in between those titles. So an Oblivion remake on Game Pass is a huge selling point to a lot of gamers, a lot of hardcore gamers. And I think PC gamers are going to be key in this. And I see why more and more that is the case. They're going to be the first to start subscribing outside of already Xbox owners, but in a big way. And an Oblivion fits right into that perfectly. Could a remake overshadow the excitement for Elder Scrolls 6? No. I don't think so at all. A remake sets you up to make your Elder Scrolls 6 announcement even bigger. I think it's genius marketing. If the timing works out, and I'm sure the timing does. I'm sure it's all planned out. The timing works out. Think about it. You drop Oblivion remake. Maybe you drop them even in the same show. Here's the remake. Here's Elder Scrolls 6. I don't think you do that though. I think you drop Oblivion remake, and then a few minutes later, towards the end of the year, boom, you've been playing Oblivion. You see how awesome the remake was? Well, guess what? Get ready to go back. Here's Elder Scrolls 6. And then everyone goes wild. Look out. Here we come. It's game over. And that's where I see it. I would love to know what you guys think, though. Do you like these remakes? Do you think they're necessary? Do you think that they're good to do? I like the remakes. I'm not necessarily as big a fan of like the Ultimate Editions. I think those are nice. But I think for these world-class titles, these historic pieces of art that have been done, bringing them to new audiences by completely remaking them in new game engines in the whole shot is the way to go, in my opinion, especially to, like I said, introduce a series to a new audience. That's going to do us for today, everybody. Thank you very much for hanging out. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.